Chiropractic.
As soon as the National Board realized that Sherman College was doing better than anybody else in the country, including National and LACC, who had all this medical education, they knew we weren't doing any medical education at Sherman at the time. And it is incumbent upon each of us to say, okay, where do we want to go in life? What do we want to do? The school is supposed to expose you to all of those things. Then it's up to you to make that decision about where you want to go. Sure.
Hey guys, Jason Ulsrud here, and you're watching RockStar Interviews. And today I'm at New Beginnings, and I had the awesome opportunity to interview Irene Gold. How are you doing?
Good.
I really appreciate you. I know Jim Dubell was out there, and he drug you in here and made you do an interview with us. But I really appreciate you taking the time, and I know you guys are really busy and being pulled every which way in chiropractic.
We're here for the seminar this weekend.
For the seminar.
So we're here to relax and take it easy.
Well, I don't know how much relaxing you're going to get done, especially with us doing interviews like this. Now, you have the training program for chiropractors. You started that. Tell me about that and how that all originated.
Well, it really all started when I was a teacher at Sherman College back in the 1970s.
Okay.
1975 was the first time that the Sherman College students were allowed to take the national board. That's the first time they became ready for it. And another teacher and I got together and he said, let's see if we can't get these people ready to pass the test. And so we signed up about 50 people, and we worked for about 6 weekends getting them ready. And then when the final results came back, actually 3 of them passed and everybody else failed.
Really?
Oh,
So
yeah.
your first run wasn't necessarily
The first one didn't work, so I had to figure out what went wrong here. And I figured out what went wrong. And it's a long, I don't know if I should put this on.
Go for it.
because at that time, the way the test was given at that time, everybody had the questions and answers ahead of time. So all they did was study all the questions, and that's what they did. And we didn't know that at the time. So I just taught it as like we were going to be doing a conceptual review.
Right.
So during the course of this program, they took the test, and one person was in the class, not in my class, but they're taking the test. They came from Davenport, Iowa, and he had a whole bunch of notes with him. And I said, "What do you do with those notes?" He said, "Oh, we've been studying from these notes. That's how we passed the test." I said, "Do you mind if I take a look at these notes?" And I looked at them, and I realized, my gosh, those questions were just on the test.
Right.
And we have one more test to go. I said, "Well, you have any test questions on microbiology?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Why don't you give me your questions on microbiology?" I took my 50 people into a room, and I said, "We're going to learn microbiology right now," and I gave them the right answers instead of the wrong answers on the paper. And not one person failed microbiology.
Really?
Not one person failed. So then I said, okay, now I know what I got to do. I got to collect all these questions and see if I can't put together something. Next time I went out, did a class. It was 6 months later. I had 186 people in my class, and 3 of them failed.
Wow.
Then after that, every school in the country were flying into South Carolina to take the class with me.
So you started out literally by getting all the old test questions in the test.
Yeah.
But when did that change, or did it change?
It did change.
Okay.
It did change. As soon as the National Board realized that Sherman College was doing better than anybody else in the country, including National and LACC, who had all this medical education, they knew we weren't doing any medical education at Sherman at the time. As soon as they saw that, they said, well, we better find out what's happening. And then they realized, okay, we got to start changing the tests.
Right.
And that's when they did, and they've been changing them ever since.
Well, your program by far exceeds anything out there, and you have helped a tremendous amount of chiropractors get their license, get through these tests and get their license. So you've done a fantastic job with that. Now, you've seen a lot happen in chiropractic. You've seen it, from a long time ago when it was more of pure chiropractic, what I call pure chiropractic, to today.
Yes.
What have you seen? What disturbs you the most?
Well, now we're teaching medicine.
Okay.
That's what disturbs me the most. That the real chiropractic principle is not really, people are not walking away with that feeling, with that understanding before they go into practice. It's because it's not there anymore. So much of their time is spent studying medicine that there's less and less times to study chiropractic.
Very good point.
So that's what
Now,
happens.
and why do you think that is? Where does that come from?
It started, I think, in the 1975, about 76, somewhere in there, when the CCE came into power.
Mm-hmm.
And the schools that dominated the CCE were all the mixed schools.
I see.
And so they were there first to get their information in, and then we began to see changes that occurred in every school.
Right.
In every school.
So is it fair to say then, if the CCE were to not exist today, that we'd have a much different profession?
I think so.
Okay. All right. What about insurance and billing insurance? Does that play some fault in
Well,
this as well?
you can't ask me about insurance.
Okay.
I don't know anything about
Okay.
insurance. When Reggie was in practice, we had a box on the wall practice.
Okay,
so
fantastic.
insurance was not a part of our lives. Okay, and there's many people today who actually do cash practices don't have anything to do with your insurance.
I'm one of them.
So okay, that's good enough. But I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Sure. Well, I see a lot of, I guess, breakdown in the system. We are expanding our scopes because of insurance, so we can bill more and that type of thing. When in reality, I think we need to narrow our scope in chiropractic and get back to just chiropractic.
I don't think we have to narrow our scope. I think we just have to practice chiropractic
Just be a
and stop
chiropractor.
practicing medicine.
Right.
That's what we should be doing.
Very good point.
And in order to do that, then we have to make these people coming out of school very, very competent in their ability to adjust and their ability to communicate
Okay.
what they're going to be doing.
So does then the responsibility lie on the schools at this point?
Yes, it lies in the schools, but it also lies within the person who's in that school as
Okay.
well. It is incumbent upon each of us to say, okay, where do we want to go in life? What do we want to do? The school is supposed to expose you to all of those things. Then it's up to you to make that decision about where you want to go.
Very good point. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show today and sharing your thoughts and your ideas here on chiropractic and kind of giving me a little schooling on the Irene Gold program and what you created. It's been a great job.
Well, I will tell you, the most rewarding part of my job is not getting the people through the tests that can get through on their own.
Right.
The most rewarding part is the people who don't stand a chance in this world of passing that test
Right.
without this help.
Well, you've done a great job, and you offer great service to chiropractic, so I appreciate your dedication to the profession.
Well, I only do what I like to do.
Well, that's-
I mean, it's like, if you decide what you want to do with your life and it happens to be adjusting people, then you've got to become terrific at it and love what you're doing.
Exactly.
I just happened to find out that teaching was my thing.
Awesome. Awesome.
So it doesn't make any sense for me to do something that isn't my thing.
There you go. There you go. Guys, you have just been rocked by Irene Gold. And until next time, be great, be awesome, and keep rocking Principled Chiropractic. Fantastic. You did a fantastic job. I really appreciate it.
Okay.